Thank you for joining us on Lakefront News. I'm Emerson Weiler. A jogger discovered the body of an adult woman Friday morning at Woodlawn Lake in San Antonio. The jogger saw the body and called 911 around 8:30 a.m. near the block of Cincinnati, according to a San Antonio police report. According to the report, the body has been identified as a 61-year-old woman as of Wednesday afternoon, according to the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office. A report lists the incident as an apparent sudden death drowning. The investigation is ongoing. Comedian Joe Gatto of Impractical Jokers fame says he's voluntarily started inpatient care to work on himself. He did not say what type of treatment he will be getting. He's also reportedly canceled the upcoming dates of his stand-up comedy tour. The developments come in the wake of an allegation of sexual assault. Last week, a TikTok user posted videos claiming he sexually assaulted her in 2023 when she was 19. In a statement, he denied the allegation, but he said he has used poor judgment. Another woman also came forward telling People magazine he sexually harassed her when she worked for him. A woman and her friends traveled to Texas to celebrate before she got married. It was brought to a grinding halt when she was violently assaulted. This is what 27-year-old Canada Rinaldi looked like during her bachelorette trip to Dallas. The Oklahoma bride-to-be said she and her bridesmaids were leaving a club in East Dallas when a random man ran up and punched her in the face.
It's just shocking. It's just hard to believe. It just feels like a lot of my experiences were taken away from me.
Canada was hit so hard she was unconscious and face-planted into the pavement. She broke her nose, 3 teeth, and needed 8 stitches. This dashcam video from an Uber driver captured the aftermath. Kelly has started a fundraiser to help Canada with all the money she now owes. That wedding, by the way, is in 4 weeks. Video also captured the moment the suspect ran away. Canada said she does have faith Dallas police will find him and that she will be okay. 3 teen girls in Houston, Texas are accused of trying to kill their mother, all because she turned off the home Wi-Fi. Investigators say the sisters grabbed kitchen knives and chased their mom through the house and into the street. Authorities say one of the girls hit the mom with a brick. The grandmother was knocked down trying to stop it. Thankfully, nobody was seriously hurt. The girls, who were 14, 15, and 16 years old, were charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. They were booked in juvenile detention. A Connecticut woman accused of imprisoning her stepson for nearly 2 decades was found in court. Prosecutors alleged 56-year-old Kimberly Sullivan kept the boy in a room for years, denying him food and subjecting him to relentless abuse. Police found her now 32-year-old stepson emaciated after responding to a fire at the home on March 12th. He weighed just 70 pounds at 5'9". The man said he had survived on minimal water and food. He told police he started the fire on purpose to escape his captivity. Sullivan had been his sole caretaker since his father died in January 2024. She faces charges of kidnapping, assault, and cruelty. Sullivan has denied the allegations and was released on $300,000 bond. At the hearing, the state gave notice to Sullivan's attorney that it planned to file a motion to modify the conditions of her release. Sullivan's attorney was given 2 days to respond. Her attorneys have said she would plead not guilty. Anaya Zachary was shot on March 21st around 4 p.m. in her apartment complex playground. There had been an altercation on the bus earlier that day between Anaya and a teenage boy, her classmate at Baytown Jr. Police say that teenager later came to this playground and started shooting. This family now left to wonder how it exactly happened. Murder, She Wrote then vanishes into Mexico to escape the law. The California woman accused of killing her wife was captured in Mexico over the weekend. Mexican authorities released Yolanda Marati to U.S. Marshals, and she's being booked for murder. Police say the 50-year-old stabbed CAL FIRE Captain Becky Marati to death in February. Marati then fled to Mexico, where she was on the run for more than a month. She spent nearly 10 years in prison for stabbing her husband to death in 2000. Doctors in Gaza are struggling to treat patients due to a lack of supplies. For over 3 weeks, Israel hasn't allowed anything into Gaza: no food, no fuel, and no medical supplies. A blockade that is pushing hospitals here to the brink once again, endangering their ability to treat patients. The hospital is quickly running out of basic pain medications and anesthetics. The ER has no ventilators, one working ECG machine, and one heart monitor can measure blood pressure. The Supreme Court has denied an appeal from a group of minors seeking to force federal government action on climate change. The lawsuit was filed by 21 children and teenagers in 2015 and takes aim at the federal government's energy policies. It alleges those policies unconstitutionally deprived them of certain fundamental rights. The group has repeatedly lost in federal courts. The question before the justices was an issue dealing with whether the group had established standing to sue. A lower court ruled it did not and ordered a federal district court to dismiss the case. The Supreme Court did not explain its decision to deny the case, and there were no noted dissents. Postal workers across the country rallied to save the U.S. Postal Service. This comes after President Trump suggested last month that the agency could merge with the U.S. Commerce Department. It was one of many rallies held across the country by the National Association of Letter Carriers. President Trump has long criticized the Postal Service, saying it loses too much money. When facing the unknown, mail carriers say it's community support that carries them. As they fight for job security, workers say they're delivering a message of their own. Looking to make a difference on campus, the Student Government Association is searching for passionate leaders to step up and represent their peers. SGA is now accepting undergraduates and graduates for the applications of senator positions. You'll have the chance to plan campus events, support student organizations, and advocate for student voices to improve campus life. Perks include a paid position with flexible hours, public speaking experience, and networking opportunities with university leadership. More details and to apply, visit the SGA 2025-2026 Senator application or email sga@olusa.edu. If you're getting ready to graduate this fall, we have great news. The fall 2025 graduation application is now available. To apply, go to the graduation tile on Saints Connect. If you plan to graduate at the end of the fall 2025 semester, please submit the graduation application before the August 1st deadline. It is important to note that a $100 graduation fee will be added to your tuition in the fall. One of the silent victims of Israel's relentless war is Gaza's education system. Officials say more than 120 schools and universities have been obliterated by Israel attacks, and well over 600,000 children have already missed out on at least 1 year of education. When the war was raging, where rubble was their playground and a building that looked ready to collapse their place of learning. The war forced them to continue their studies remotely, almost impossible given the scant electricity and internet. Almost half of Gaza's population is under the age of 18. For them, education is a lifeline, a hope for a better future that has been taken away from them. Floodwaters in Alamo and San Juan left drivers stranded and rescuers working nonstop. Emergency crews responded to dozens of calls as vehicles sat trapped under waist-deep water. Fire and police officials prioritized medical emergencies, including a pregnant woman in labor near Walmart. 2 shelters have been opened for residents seeking safety, one in San Juan and one at Dr. Daniel P. King campus, and another in Alamo at Jesus Jesse Vela Junior Middle School.
I can describe it. We're just getting like a bucket of water poured on us, and it's just it's too much for the drainage system.
Alamo Fire Chief R.C. Flores says the
officials are urging people to stay off the roads as they continue rescue operations. In suburban Fort Worth, Texas, a new mural honors the life of an 11-year-old girl. The child died of suicide early this year. Her family says her death was the result of bullying over her parents' immigration status.
The only way that we can maybe prevent some of it from happening again is by not forget.
What happened to Jocelyn Rojo won't be repeated. To honor the 11-year-old girl from Gainesville with a mural in the north side, Jocelyn's family says bullying at school over her parents' immigration status led to her suicide in February. Gainesville ISD confirmed the bullying happened. Shortly after Jocelyn's death, a Fort Worth ISD teacher made an alleged post on social media urging ICE to visit Northside High School. For these Fort Worth students, the situation is personal.
Prevent, some of it from happening again is by not forgetting.
That's how these artists want to be remembered. Want the young girl to be remembered. That's when students decided to do something. Now to Anisia Serrano for sports.
Hello Saints, I am Anisia Serrano here with some sports news. Some heavy news for the boxing fans. Two-time world heavyweight boxing champion George Foreman has unfortunately passed away. A post from his family on verified social media account said George Edward Foreman Sr. died Friday at the age of 76, surrounded by loved ones. Foreman was known as one of the most powerful punchers in boxing history. He won Olympic gold in 1968 in only his 25th amateur fight. He had a legendary rivalry with Muhammad Ali that culminated with the famous Rumble in the Jungle title bout. Ali won the 1974 match by landing a knockout in the 8th round, Foreman's first career loss. Foreman later said he never would have believed he made one of his best friends that night. After boxing, Foreman excelled as a celebrity pitchman. He was known for the George Foreman Grill, which debuted in 1994. President Trump is demanding an apology from Maine's Democratic Governor Janet Mills over their dispute over transgender athletes. The testy encounter took place at the National Governors Association winter event last month. Trump threatened to strip the state of its federal funding if it refuses to comply with his executive order banning transgender athletes from competing in women's sports. After the exchange, the Department of Education Civil Rights Division announced it was investigating whether the state violated the ban. It's unclear what the apology was about and what apology the president received from the state. Trump also demanded a commitment from Mills to refrain from challenging the federal government's stance. And some sad news for women's basketball fans. The University of Southern California star Juju Watkins suffered a season-ending knee injury in the women's NCAA basketball tournament last week. It happened during the top-seeded Trojans' second-round game against Mississippi State. In the first quarter, Watkins was taking the ball up the court on a fast break when she collided with Bulldogs senior guard Chandler Prater. Watkins' right knee buckled awkwardly and she went down hard to the ground. Watkins immediately clutched her knee and had to be lifted off the court. The Trojans went on to win the game and advanced to the Sweet 16. USC later announced Watkins will undergo surgery and rehabilitation. A loose student reacts to the unfortunate event.
My name is Anissa Cardona. She's an amazing player. I know she can be like the next big thing in WNBA, but I know nevertheless that she is going to come back stronger. I know she's resilient. I've always watched her play, so I know she's going to come back and play even better.
The loss of their centerpiece will make USC's pursuit of a national championship game a much more daunting challenge. That's some really sad news to hear about Juju Watkins, but hopefully with some better news, I have some OLU sports news for you next. Looking for some sports to watch to begin your April? Head down to Missions Baseball Field and support our baseball team. April 4th, OLU baseball will play against the University of Houston Victoria at 6 p.m. Then on April 5th, get ready for a doubleheader starting at noon. So grab your hats and sunscreen, it's sure to be a hot one, and come out and support. History is being made at Our Lady of the Lake University as the men's tennis team reaches new heights. The Saints are shattering records, making 2025 a season to remember. For the first time ever, the team has climbed to 3rd in the nation after dominating their conference matches in New Orleans with an unmatched winning streak. OLU tennis is setting a new standard for excellence. With this momentum, the Saints are looking to make even bigger waves as the season continues. The OLU softball team will be playing on April 9th. They will be going against the UHV Jaguars at the OLU softball field. The games will be held at 2 different times, one game happening at 1 p.m. and another at 3 p.m. So be sure to go support Our Lady Saints. Our Lady of the Lake track team made a statement in indoor track and have been preparing for outdoor. Their first meet was at the UTSA Invitational, where DeJohn Lewis hit the national B standard in the triple jump with a jump of 14.69 meters. Lauren Tanner hit a national B standard in the long jump with a jump of 5.85 meters. Jalen Bell hit the national B standard in the 100 meters with a time of 10.42 seconds and in the 200 meters with a time of 21.17 seconds. They are currently going to compete at Texas Relays or Texas State, and their upcoming meet will take place at Trinity University March 28th to 29th. We want to wish our Saints good luck. OLU cheer and dance team will be attending the NCAA Nationals. The Nationals will be held on April 9th in Daytona, Florida. The competition is set to start at 8 a.m. with various competitions happening at the same time. Let's cheer on the Saint ladies and hope for them to bring on a home win. And there have been a lot of records broken, and it is also March Madness. So March Madness is well underway, and the madness of the month is just beginning with the first buzzer beater being made. After 49 games, the 2025 NCAA National Tournament got its first game-winning buzzer beater from Maryland's Derek Queen. Maryland faced off against Colorado State University in the second round of the NCAA tournament. And with just 3 seconds on the clock and Maryland trailing by 1 point, Derek Queen drove to his left and banked in a game winner at the horn to send Maryland to the Sweet 16. Make sure you keep up with the tournament and catch the Final Four here in San Antonio. It has been an exciting tournament full of lots of fun. And March Madness fever is sweeping across Texas. The Lone Star State is well represented in this year's NCAA tournament. With 2 teams earning their spot in the Big Dance, powerhouse programs like Texas Tech and University of Houston are set to make deep runs. The Texas Tech Red Raiders takes on Arkansas Razorbacks, and the Houston Cougars meet the Purdue Boilermakers on the court shortly after. With fierce competition and Texas pride on the line, fans across the state are ready to cheer their teams on to victory and get your brackets ready. It's going to be a wild ride, and hopefully we see them here in San Antonio for the NCAA Final Four. The San Antonio Spurs took on the Cleveland Cavaliers in a high-energy matchup, but Cleveland closed strong to secure the win. The Spurs came out strong with Stephen Castle throwing down a big tip slam early in the first quarter, but the Cavs answered back with 3-pointers from Donovan Mitchell and DeAndre Hunter. San Antonio fought back in the third with Castle finishing a fast break. With a Euro step layup, but Mitchell took over again, attacking the basket from tough finishes and monster slams. Final score, Cavaliers 124, Spurs 116. Cleveland gets the win behind a big night from Donovan Mitchell, while the Spurs look to bounce back in their next game. It's been a bit of a tough season without Wemby, but hopefully the Spurs are able to bounce back. And that's all for sports. Emerson will be back with your health segment.
Welcome back. We have business and consumer news for you.
Authorities in Austin, Texas are investigating after multiple suspicious devices were found at a Tesla showroom. The devices were removed by a bomb squad. Austin police responded to a call at the dealership off of US 183 where officers found multiple suspicious devices. The bomb squad determined these devices were incendiary and took them into police custody. Austin Police Association President Michael Bullock says these call types aren't new for the department and they're not new nationwide either. The FBI says since January there's been situations just like this involving Tesla property in 9 different states.
That's horrific, horrible. I have 6 children. I mean, they're all grown in their 30s now, but I have grandchildren. What if I was up here to show them a car?
This incident is currently under investigation, and Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton says he's ready to step in.
If you run from the cops, you will likely go to jail. Trying to outrun the police never ends well, except once a year in Union County, Tennessee, when the sheriff's office actually invites the community to race for fun and fellowship. For 4 years now, the Knoxville Dragway has given drivers a chance to test their cars against police officers. Hundreds came out to see how their cars would fare against police vehicles. They recognize that while their jobs are typically stressful, this is a time to unwind.
Police officers can have fun too, and it's important to me that the community, recognize us as people just like them, and we can come out and have fun just like they do, and it's just a great positive thing to really do.
The Union County Sheriff's Office says this year's the money is going to one of their own. Detective Woods is battling cancer, and everything that comes of this race day will go towards him helping with his treatment. They are grateful to see the community come out and support the deputy as he goes through this process.
When a first grader in Fort Wayne, Indiana area was diagnosed with cancer, staff and students at his elementary school didn't just offer support. They took action with Legos for Wyatt. It's not just a fundraiser, it's a way to support the 7-year-old and his family. A heartbreaking discovery, 7-year-old Wyatt diagnosed with osteosarcoma, a type of bone cancer. Lucky for Wyatt, he has his entire elementary school on his side, which led them to Legos for Wyatt.
Grade level that raises the most money will get to choose which Lego set that we're going to purchase for Wyatt that he can use while he is undergoing treatment.
In 2024, the entire school raised about $2,000. Wyatt still has a couple of weeks of chemotherapy and treatment left, but his mom says he's a fighter.
Selena Gomez is speaking out about the online criticism and says women face more pressure on social media than men. In a recent interview on the On Purpose with Jay Shetty podcast, Gomez said women have it much harder, especially when it comes to appearance-related comments. The singer and actress, who's 32 years old, says she no longer has social media apps on her phone. Still, she recognizes that social media can have a positive impact despite its challenges.
Austin just made history with its first ever women's sports bar. The new spot aims to create a space where women's sports take center stage. The bar features multiple screens playing women's sports 24/7, giving fans dedicated space to watch their favorite teams. Located in the heart of Austin, the venue also offers a menu inspired by local flavors and a community-focused atmosphere. Owners hope this bar will help grow support for women's sports and inspire more businesses to follow their lead.
March Madness is coming to San Antonio April 4th through the 7th, and there is no need to break the bank to join in around the NCAA tournament. Grammy-winning Mr. Worldwide and newcomer Benson Boone are coming to town for the March Madness Music Festival April 4th through the 6th at the Tower Park of Hemisphere on 801 East Cesar Chavez Boulevard. The 3-day music festival will be free and is first come, first served, which means the park will close once it's reached capacity. While the men's Final Four Fan Fest is a $10 ticket event at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center, anyone who has a Capital One card can get in for free an hour earlier. The men's Final Four tip-off tailgate is free to the public and happening daily from April 4th through the 7th in Civic Park at Hemisphere located on Alamo Street. The tailgates will feature watch parties for the games, activities, giveaways, and food and drinks. So many activities, so let's hear from a student how they feel for the exciting events coming soon.
My name is Stan Drisser, and I'm Nicolas Burger. Yeah, I think it's awesome, awesome. What do you think? I think it's really nice. I think we will enjoy it a lot. I love Mr. Worldwide. What do you think about it? Yeah, I love it. Definitely. I'm so looking forward to it.
As a college student, you can't really say no to freebies. Make sure you head down and have some maddening fun.
I know I will be there for freebies. And speaking of things being free, 2 otters are on the loose after they escaped their habitat at a zoo in northeastern Wisconsin. This happened at a new zoo in Sumico, Wisconsin. Zookeepers are still out looking for them. Louie and Ophelia, which are their names, escaped late March as snow from Winter Storm Ezra fell across the region. Carmen Murak, zoo director, says,
they managed to find a place where there was just a little break in that fence and made it just large enough for an otter to sneak through.
The tiny otters left small tracks, and zoo cameras both inside and outside the perimeter show that the 2 are exploring nearby woods and the adventure park. Live traps and some of their favorite foods are being set out, hoping to lure the two back home. They are not believed to be in danger to the public, and the zoo would simply like to have the two home.
I love otters. They're so cute.
Me too. I would go and help look for them and maybe even take one home for myself.
Maybe. Cuteness overload from the Texas Panhandle. Rescuers saved dozens of baby squirrels recently, 31 of them to be exact. It happened in Amarillo after a windstorm knocked nests out of a tree. A wildlife rehabilitation center is caring for the squirrels until they are old enough to be set free. Nature experts say even if you don't like squirrels, they're a vital part of the ecosystem. That's because they bury nuts. As the squirrels forget where they bury some of them, those seeds then grow into trees.
Speaking of things being nuts, the cost of being a pet owner is skyrocketing. As reported in US Today, Rover's latest True Cost of Pet Parenthood report says that dog owners can expect costs to increase as much as 7% this year, which is a crazy percentage increase. Cat owners could see a 10% increase, which is even crazier. And Rover predicts that the average annual cost of a dog for 2025 sits between around $1,400 to $5,200. The company also predicts that the annual cost of owning a cat to cost from about $750 to $3,500. According to Rover, more than half of pet owners are concerned that tariffs are proposed, or the proposed tariffs will make the price of pet products and food even higher. I like pets, and I think they are like the new generation of children. What do you think, Emerson?
I've got a puppy at home, and he's getting old and expensive.
Yeah, they are expensive children to have, but thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to give your pet some extra treats tonight. I am Anisia Serrano.
And I'm Emerson Weiler. Good night.